if you're thinking about educational content and it serving your business, it doesn't necessarily have to be an add-on.
No.
It could be something that serves multiple disciplines within your company, and it actually makes those disciplines more efficient.
Oh, definitely. And there's a big opportunity, I think, in when we frame, particularly for marketing teams. Oh my goodness, there's so many things going on. We're chasing a lot of different goals, and
Mm-hmm.
we've got lead goals and trying to figure out what that looks like. And educational content, often, I think, in the last couple of years, has been like, oh, well, when we have the time, we can do it.
Mm-hmm.
Where if we frame that differently, it's like, what is the fuel to the fire here that we can insert? So what are
Right.
some of those really hot topics, things that we do want to rank for? All right, let's take some of that and shape it into educational content. Something that we've done over the last couple of years is we call them quick hits, but they're really those short educational videos. They tend to then lead to longer educational content in our Academy app,
Mm-hmm.
but the marketing team uses them on our product pages, on our services pages, in a lot of different places throughout.
Mm-hmm.
We have some of these free tools that they're injected into, and it can help take those little next steps
Mm-hmm.
from going, oh, I'm not really sure about HubSpot, to, oh, okay, that makes sense to me.
Yeah.
Let me apply it. It connects the dots.
Yeah.
And, once a day, I kind of look at how many sales reps at HubSpot are mentioning HubSpot Academy and how they're mentioning it.
Yeah.
Oh, we're talking about this thing. And, Lee, you're really interested in contact management in HubSpot. Great. Here is this piece that goes in a little bit more of like why contact management is important, because that's obviously a piece we get stuck in when we start to get into some of that with the sales processes. You're trying to sell on something and someone's not even bought into why it is important to them.
That's
and
a really good point.
Educational
I think
content for you.
that's definitely something to sit on for a second, because I think that's the conversion aspect of what we're talking about. Because if someone's going to engage, there's a need, they're kind of coming through the funnel. And if they have those dots connected for them for the why or the how, how does this work? And then it makes sense and it connects to how they can actually use it with their team. That educational piece is going to help for conversion. So I'm sure you've seen that a lot. I'd be interested to know, if there's any stories you could give us, because I know you sit like pretty much well in the academy side of things, and there probably is some disconnect between you and marketing. But for maybe a smaller company, that's the whole team, right? The whole team is sitting there talking to one another. And they're trying to utilize all of these resources. And I think that's just something like to try to put it all together for someone who's hearing this for the first time. It's about connecting the dots for your prospect, for your buyer, so that you can have an opportunity for a conversion, not an actual opportunity, but you have the conversion can happen because you're connecting the dots. I don't know if there's another better way to say it.
Yeah, and one of the early experiments we did with the marketing team prior to us sitting in marketing, when we were still in customer success, they were looking to do a email marketing campaign to folks that had engaged on our free email tool. It was new at the time. Okay. It was probably like 2017, 2018. And what we did is we took like snippets of an existing Academy course that we had, and they were like 2 minutes, and we inserted them into all these emails. But the way the campaign worked and the way that it ended up kind of coming to fruition is they sort of built on each other. And so then by the end, there was a CTA, which was like, oh my goodness, you've actually completed almost an entire Academy course, like pop into the Academy app and finish it. And at the end of that Academy course, there was a practical element to use our free email tool for the first time and to create your first email. And then in that email, there was an engagement piece that we'd worked with the product team on that was like, oh, are you unsure about what you're doing? Like, go back to the Academy course and make sure you have these pieces. Yeah. And we saw that people who progressed through that, we're closing at a higher rate, that we're using the tool at a higher rate. And that intersection between, yes, we've got this campaign that's going, but you can use the educational content to really like push someone along. And it's been a strategy we've used in many other capacities for that. even too, if you want to talk about it from the other side, like this is a lot of where we started from Academy on onboarding customers. Once they are converted, once they are a customer, getting them that educational content that they need, again, really working in that full flywheel impact for Academy. It provides consistency too. If you're a prospect and you engage with the educational content and you keep seeing that as a customer, it's also going to have that retention piece, which is equally as important from a lead conversion standpoint.